Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into the REIFF Knives F3 EDC fixed blade, one compact powerhouse that could just be your ultimate companion blade. This one features a 2.9 inch drop point blade made from 1/8 inch thick CPM MagnaCut steel. They also come in CPM 3V, both excellent steels, especially for fixed blades. Right off the bat, let's talk about this blade. The 2.9 inch blade is ideal for precision tasks and still providing enough heft for some of the tougher jobs. CPM MagnaCut is definitely known for its incredible corrosion resistance, good edge retention, good toughness. So this knife should be good as a daily carry EDC fixed blade and even your outdoor adventures. You get high toughness without sacrificing edge retention. That's the beauty of CPM MagnaCut. It's such a well-balanced steel all around and partly the reason it's gone crazy this year. This blade comes with a heavy blasted stone wash finish, which is not usually something I like to see on any of my knives because of the corrosion aspect. However, you don't have to worry about that when it comes to CPM MagnaCut because of its excellent corrosion resistance. I think it looks nice, tough, and rugged. It also has a nice sharp 90-degree spine for striking a ferro rod, making it a great companion for camping or survival scenarios or backyard fun. You got a nice robust tip there. It'd be excellent for doing any twisting and turning into wood. If you need to make a notch or something, maybe even some light prying, you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. You have a well-executed sharpening notch. I did sharpen this up after I finished all the testing and it did not start to flare. On my fixed blades, that's about what I want to see. So if I need to increase that or send it back to get increased, a little small round file will just go straight up and it'll be perfectly fine. The one thing that this is missing that I would have loved to see on this one is a long row of fine cut jimping right here. Now you do have a nice flat spot to rest your thumb, but I just like jimping on my fixed blades because I tend to use them a little bit harder than my folders. Definitely not a deal breaker, but something I wanted to mention. So this knife comes with a flat saber grind that doesn't go up super high, but they still managed to grind it down to around 20 thousandths behind the edge. And my particular sample has a 20 degrees per side edge bevel on it from factory. Let's see what it can do. After testing the REIFF Knives Circadian, I was decided to do some testing with this one because this one's more of the size I typically like to EDC. And it came super sharp out of box. They put I think a 20 degree per side edge bevel on their knives. And I'm happy with that, especially on a fixed blade. And this handle, man, I can only imagine how comfortable it's going to be when we're testing the ergos. But yeah, so far so good. Slicing well, I wasn't sure. It's a saber grind and it's ground thin, but it's a sharp grind. And here we go, testing those ergos, testing that edge to see how it wants to bite. And you can easily do this for long periods of time without getting any kind of fatigue in your wrist or forearms because the thickness and the swell on these micarta scales, not only comfortable but powerful as well too, because it fills out the hand nicely. Love that. Now I'm just doing some kindling. Of course, you know, usually if I'm gonna baton, I'm gonna use something, you know, with a much bigger blade, but MagnaCut's a very strong steel and we can take some nice impact. And I just wanted to try it out. You know, I figured it would be able to handle it, and I was right. Just doing some quick notches just to test the lateral strength of the apex of the edge, because I'm putting a lot of stress on it, banging it into this hard. I think it's a hardwood. I can't remember, but yeah. It handled it great, and after all that, now we're going to cut the 1/2 inch sisal rope. And yeah, it's pretty much push cutting it. You can tell that it's nice and sharp. Anytime you see me use that pointer finger grip, that means it's gliding through the material because I can't put that much downward force onto whatever I'm cutting in that pointer finger grip. So yeah, excellent. Being that it is a higher tip Drop point, you're going to have more belly, making these flat cuts on a flat cutting surface a lot easier. That's, the big benefit of having more belly, that and doing finesse cuts. But yeah, outstanding, comfortable in that pinch grip. You got a lot of handle to hold on to, or a lot of thickness of handle to hold on to. And it blasted through this, no problem whatsoever. The edge never felt like it was slowing down at all. And being that it has that 20 degrees per side edge bevel, it's going through this rather easily. I don't know if it would be a little bit difficult if it was 1 inch to 1.25 inches, 1.5 inch thickness on a sisal rope, but I can say for certain that the 1/2 inch is absolutely no problem for it. Now I'm sure it is, wearing that edge out pretty good. And being that we had that higher tip, it's not that easy to use the tip to do those drag cuts. It's way easier just to use the belly. It blasted through all this. I did notice a little bit of drag on the tubing from the blasted finish, and this dense cardboard. This is where I kind of noticed that saber grind kind of getting hung up. That's why I would prefer a flat grind for an EDC, but it did really, really well. Couldn't be happier with it. Just as good as the Circadian, and it was a lot of fun to test. Now let's move on to the handle, which in my opinion is a standout feature on this knife. So you have bolt-on construction, and this particular one has natural canvas micarta. They sandblast it, so it gives it even more texture. And micarta, if you know anything about it, it already has good texture to it. You have a lanyard hole, and right now I just have a leather lanyard tied to it. You have a pretty neutral handle on the backside, and then you have the swell right here. And my favorite part of this knife is the ergos. This thing was so incredibly comfortable, and it has a lot to do with the nice contouring they have on these scales. No hard angles anywhere. And then check that nice palm swell out. At the thickest portion, this is coming in at 0.823. That is fantastic, especially since majority of my folding knives are 0.5 or under. There's nothing better than something like this. It fills out my hand perfectly, and I could have cut and cut and cut for days, and I wouldn't have started fatiguing my wrist or forearms. No hot spots whatsoever to speak of. Great fitment up against the tang of the blade. Everything's perfectly mated. They even have a chamfer going around the lanyard, because I've seen some, I'm not going to name any companies, but I know a company that leaves this pretty darn sharp, and my hand lands on it, making it pretty darn uncomfortable. So yeah, if you like your EDC fixed blades with a super comfortable handle, this one's a definite win in that category. No matter which grip I hold it in, hammer grip, saber grip, pull cuts, I don't think I would ever do this, but if I had to do gas station knife fight grip, it's nice and comfortable as well. Pinch grip is nice and comfortable. Now, while we're talking about pinch grip, even though it's nice and comfortable and I was able to do everything really, really easily, I do think it could have benefited by putting a divot on both sides right here for the pinch grip. It's just a little touch that I found over the years of testing knives that is something that really locks you in whenever you have to do a pinch grip cut. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about on this MKM Pocket Tango. You can see how both of these are ground down right there. It makes this pinch grip really comfortable, really locked in. All that said, this one is still really locked in and comfortable. This one just brings it up a notch. We have some nice large fasteners here. It looks like it's a Torx T20. Nice tight fitment there. Love seeing that. This handle is definitely designed for a nice full 4-finger grip. It's coming in at 4 inches overall. I can easily get 4 fingers on it, and I still have a little bit left over, so it should even fit large hands nicely, maybe even an extra large. Definitely providing comfort and stability during use. Whether you're carving, slicing, doing some detail work, this knife feels secure in the hand. What's really impressive is how versatile this knife is. The F3 easily transitions from outdoor adventures to everyday tasks, whether you're in the woods or at the workbench. This knife is ready to handle it all with style and efficiency. Now let's talk about sheaths. You can either choose between this ambidextrous Kydex sheath, or if I remember correctly, a stylish Crazy Horse leather belt sheath, kind of like this particular one right here. That's what I recall seeing. If I'm wrong, I'll try to pop a picture up on the screen. Both options are going to offer some security and easy access, which in my opinion is crucial when you're out in the field and you need to get a hold of your knife. You got a little drainage hole at the bottom, tons of lashing points. Nice positive click on it. It came with a belt clip attachment. Unfortunately, I don't see it around here right now. However, I prefer to pocket carry my EDC fixed blades clipped to the pocket. I usually have an Alti clip on it, but I'm trying out this new clip right here that I picked up off Amazon. It works fairly well. We'll check it out in just a second. I like how you have a little spot ramp right there to push off on. And I'm sure with the leather sheath, you could easily pull it out of the sheath while it's on your belt. Now let's check this one out in the pocket. All right, so as you can see, you can't really even see it. Wearing my lightweight shorts like I have to pretty much every day. I have it on a new clip, not the one it comes with. And I think I like this. So you can see like that. It's, in there pretty good. I can retrieve the knife very easily and it holds it in there nicely. This clip right here, I got off of Amazon. I think it's from a company called Toe Knife or something like that. And it fits perfect right there. Gives me a little bit extra in the pocket. 3x3 Alti clip would also fit on here. And I could probably go deeper, but with the way this one sits, I can still easily access the knife without hitting anything. If you're interested in one of these, I will link it down in the description along with the 3x3 Alti clip. This one's not going to hold it as tight as an Alti clip, but as you saw just now, it's perfectly fine the way it is. Get a quick weight without the sheath. It's coming in at around 3.56 ounces. And with the sheath, you also have to take into account that I have this metal clip on there. We'll add some weight. Coming in at 4.52 ounces. And I carried this thing a lot in the pocket. Never once did I think it felt cumbersome. Now for some quick size comparisons, it's just a hair shorter than the Bradford Guardian 3, and it's just a hair longer than the LT Wright Frontier Valley. And next up, it's just a little bit shorter than the White River M1, and it's pretty much identical to the Essie Azula 2. And as you can see, it's shorter than both the REIFF Knives Circadian, another great knife, and the Ontario Rat Model 2. All right, now for my nitpicks and complaints. I would have loved to see a long row of fine cut jimping up here. I think it would have been fantastic. Maybe to about right here, then some closer to that tip to do tip work. And I think it would be fantastic to see REIFF Knives do a version the same size as this with a full flat grind that comes down even thinner than this one, to make it a slicing machine, and to top it off, to have that version a low tip drop point that is pretty much in line with the center of the scales, making it very easy to do drag cuts and therefore making it a much more versatile knife than this one already is. Possibly even a raw stone wash finish would be fantastic. Boy, I wish I could collaborate with REIFF Knives on one of my designs. That would be awesome. I'm sure those guys are pretty darn busy, but that would be amazing. So my final thoughts. If you're looking for a compact knife that packs a serious punch, this is one hard to beat. With its premium materials, solid construction, and attractive design, the compact companion blades are definitely worth considering. I've enjoyed carrying this one so very much. If you're interested in this knife, I will have it linked down in the description. I'm not sure if any of the MagnaCut versions are available, but the CPM 3V versions, in my opinion, are so what and what. The 3Vs should be even tougher than the MagnaCut. They should hold somewhat of respectable edges. I want to say they heat treat their MagnaCut from like 61 to 62, which, is totally understandable for a fixed blade. Well, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more reviews and gear recommendations. What do you think about this knife? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below. I'll do my best to get back with you. I hope everyone of y'all is having an absolute amazing day. Until next time, remember, keep your blade sharp, smile more. Peace.